technique that I want to share with you, which is a part of our program in naturopathy, because my goal is that if ev- if if you are suffering from any diseases, the origin of that is coming from the toxic colon. If your colon is toxic, you're constipated every day. If you are having poor bowel movement or pool elimination, no, yung inyong pong dumi ay hindi lumalabas every 8 hours, because according to the scientific studies that we should defecate. Ibig sabihin po ng defecate, dumudumi po dapat tayo every 8 hours. After 8 hours that you don't defecate, the toxins from your colon will be transported into your bloodstream. Sasama po yan sa dugo natin, and then it will cause oxidation, destruction of the immune system, and that will be a lot of diseases coming out. So isinama ko, that's why this is my first, no? Sabi niyo, wow, merong kaagad na product. This is because I will share to you that why I need to incorporate this with the detoxification technique that we always do in naturopathy. Even Dr. Bernard Jensen, which is the pioneer in iridology and is a well-known iridology, chiropractor, and naturopathic specialist in the US, also recommends colonic therapy, or we call it colonic cleansing, because it's any supplement, any vegetable, any nutritional substance that you take, it will be useless. It will not easily absorb by the body if you have a toxic colon. So yun po yung main goal natin. And this is how. Spirulina is a blue-green algae. Yan po yung, the Vegetab is a spirulina, which is a well-known power food that we are going to incorporate in our colonic cleansing later on. So yun po yung part ng program natin. And why? This spirulina is within the family of the molds, but it's not similar to the type of the molds or that come out from the yeast pag nabubulok na yung mga tinapay or whatever. But this is a blue-green algae that being produced on the deep sea. No, hindi po to yung mga blue-green algae that you could see sa mga Manila Bay or sa mga seabeds, which are prone to toxic substances from the ship, no, yung mga spilled na ng ship. This one is being cultured deep sea and then using Japan technology. That's why we are safe and it's non-toxic. Actually, this is a superfood because if you are undergoing, for example, cancer treatment and you are exposed to chemotherapy, nag-undergo po kayo ng chemotherapy, this is very good because we all know that chemotherapy is a radioactive substance. We used to administer that intravenous. So like me, I also handling, when I was in the hospital, this chemotherapy treatment to patients as a registered nurse also. So we do IV therapy for chemotherapy, and these are radioactive substances. Most of our patients after the treatment, talaga pong they have baldness, nalalagas yung buhok, and you will see the weakness of the body. That's why this is a part of our recommendation as a part of the regimen if you are undergoing chemotherapy, because it helps to regenerate the damaged cells. Kasi po pag chemotherapy, radioactive substance yan. So it destroys all the healthy and unhealthy cells. Kasi ang target niya is the cancer cells, the malignant tumors, but also the healthy cells and the healthy tissues are being affected by the radioactive elements. Kaya po very weak ang body. And Vegetab will help to regenerate that. And why? And also to the other diseases, like if you have a weak immune system, now if you had a COVID before, or you have prone to tuberculosis, you have pneumonia. Actually, some of the COVID cases, ang complication is pneumonia. Even I handle US cases because I used to work home-based in the US. And I handle a lot of patients which has COVID-19, and most of the complications are pneumonia, and some are cardiopulmonary arrest. Also, yun yung cause of death nila. So that's why we need also this, because of the certain nutrients that we have. It prevents weaknesses of the immune system. So let's see. So like Vegetab it has amino acids. Amino acids. Those are byproducts of metabolism, so we need that. So like for example po, ang Vegetab natin, which is the spirulina, it has lysine. So lysine, we all know, di ba, sa mga vitamins ng bata, meron din yan. So it's not only for the kids, no? So lysine is needed by all ages. So lysine is ideal for stress. So because it balances your neurochemical transmitter. Kasi pag stressed ka, more of ang lumalabas sa brain mo is more of the epinephrine, epinephrine, tapos mga endorphins, no? Lahat yan mga stimulant yan, no? And there are increasing your heartbeat, increases your pulse rate, it causes palpitation. So lysine will help to prevent increase of those stress hormones to be released by your pineal gland, no? Ng ating pituitary gland. No, so the pituitary gland releases those hormones that that causes stress. Just like I've said, yung epinephrine, no, and the lysine will help to prevent those secretions of those stress hormones. And then we have those who have anxiety, because if you have anxiety, you cannot sleep, no, and then you have poor concentration, you have weakening of the body. So those stress and anxiety leads to weakening of the immune system and leads to infection. And also anxiety leads also to hypertension, no? Kasi kulang ka sa tulog, nag-increase ang blood pressure mo, na-stress ka also. So we also this lysine that helps to release the happy hormones, yung serotonin and melatonin that keeps you relaxed, makes you sleep, you have a good circadian rhythm, you will have a good sleeping patterns, no? Yung pagtulog po natin nagiging maayos because of the lysines. And also it gives you a good concentration, whatever, if you're taking exams, if you're having dementia, no? Iba, di ba, if those are above 60 years old are prone to dementia and Parkinson's, and that are all about memory loss, no? And lysine will help that, and also it helps to enhance the immune system. So papalakasin niya po yung defense natin against infection. And amino acids are building block of protein. So ang goal kasi ng lysine is to build our muscle and not to build fats, no? Because the problem is that if you are not having exercise, no? May problema tayo dahil we have a sedentary life, and lagi lang nasa bahay tayo, di ba? Pagkain, tulog, di ba? Laging ganun lang, walang exercise, and we need an amino acids to help to build the muscle and not to build the fats in our body. Especially also Vegetab or the spirulina has vitamin B complex, which also help to burn the fats, help to convert the fats into energy, helps to convert sugar from the food that we eat, from the carbohydrate base that leads to sugar. It also helps to metabolize this sugar, kaya hindi rin siya nagkakos ng increase in blood sugar or hyperglycemia. So isa din po yan sa mga benefits ng Vegetab. And then the next is also lysine helps to allow the absorption of calcium in the bones, because without those lysines, and also meron din tayong tinatawag na vitamin D. The vitamin D and the lysines also helps together to allow the calcium absorption in the bones to make it stronger. So normally, pag meron kang mga osteoporosis and you are prone to fracture, no, konting madulas ka na, nagka-fracture ka, misalignment of the bones, no, you need this because these are all precursor of the calcium. The lysine, the vitamin D are all precursors of absorption of calcium in the bones. And then also spirulina also have tryptophan. Tryptophan is also a type of natural substance that helps on the activation of our pineal gland. Yung pineal gland po na yan, nasa brain din natin. Those are the glands that helps on the neurochemical transmitters and also the release of natural hormones. So tryptophan activate the natural hormones so that the pineal gland will release the melatonin and serotonin. So ito po yung nagpapaantok sa atin. Di ba pag busog kayo, di ba normally pag kumain ka, pag busog ka, inaantok ka. Kasi pag full na yung stomach natin, no, naturally, it activates the pineal gland to release the melatonin and serotonin. So lumalabas po yan, and then we start to sleep and relax, inaantok tayo. Pero pag insomnia ka, hindi ka makatulog, there is an inability for the pineal gland to release the melatonin and serotonin. Kaya lagi kang gising, napaka-active, hindi ka makatulog. Especially, and this happens when you are stressed, if you're anxious, no, may anxiety ka, very active, very poor ang elimination nito. Konti-konti lang ang nire-release ng pineal gland, kaya lagi ka pa rin gising, tapos nagkape ka pa, di ba? Nagkano ka pa, kumain ka ng mga stimulants na that causes the decrease on the release of the melatonin, kaya hindi ka nakakatulog. And those who are insomniac have a problem on the melatonin and serotonin secretion. So we need this tryptophan, which is present in our spirulina or the Vegetab. And also the tryptophan helps also to produce niacin or vitamin B3 for metabolism. So it's needed by our liver. Normally, kasi di ba, there are what you call the fatty liver, which because of the increase of fatty deposits in our liver, causes a lot of leads to liver cirrhosis, no, and a lot of liver disorders, especially kung meron ka pang tinatawag nating hepatitis B, that also causes the destruction of the liver. So we need this tryptophan, so that the tryptophan will be converted into niacin, so that will help the liver to metabolize the fats that will not lead to fatty liver. So para matulungan po yung liver na hindi mag-accumulate ng maraming fats, and tryptophan will help that. And then cysteine. Ito po, sino po dito yung mahilig mag-glutathione? Kasi gusto kong pumuti, gusto kong gumanda. No, gusto ko. So actually, glutathione is being produced naturally by the liver. Ever since nung pinanganak pa lang tayo, nagpo-produce. Kailan kasi, as we age, no, tumatanda na tayo, no, normally pag 40 na, nagdi-decrease na ang natural production of glutathione. That helps. Actually, glutathione is needed for metabolism also of the fats, or cholesterol, no, yung mga sa mga kinakain natin. And these are all needed for maintaining of a good absorption of all the nutrients from the food that we eat. And yung pagputi lang po is adverse reaction of the glutathione effect. So yung pagputi, but it's not the glutathione that makes us have a white skin. It's also only an adverse effect of the glutathione. But this one, the Vegetab, the spirulina, has a natural glutathione, which is cysteine. Natural po siya, hindi chemically based. Kasi yung binibili natin ng mga nasa capsule, no, yung mga binibili natin, those are synthetic type. And those that is present on Vegetab is natural cysteine, which is a component of glutathione, but it also helps for the good production of the nails. Nakakatulong po siya kasi beta-carotene type siya, no? So, ibig sabihin ng beta-carotene kasi it's related to proteins derivatives, no? So it helps the keratin to be absorbed by the nails. Kasi yung keratin po, yan yung protein substance sa kinakain natin. And if that is not being properly absorbed by the nails, the hair, and the skin, nagkakaroon po ng poor production. Minsan po, di ba, patay yung kuko ninyo sa mga kaya yung kuko ko, kailangan ko na ipalibing. Di ba? Kasi patay na siya. Because those are signs of poor absorption of the keratin or the natural protein in your nails. And the hair, bakit nalalagas yung buhok ko? Bakit ang skin ko kulubot? No, hindi maganda improvement, madaling magkaroon ng irritation because there is a poor absorption of the keratin, of the natural protein from the food that we eat, and cysteine, which is present on the Vegetab, will help on the absorption of the beta-carotene on the nails, hair, and skin. Kaya nga po sabi ko nga, di ba, pag kini-chemotherapy yung pasyente, maganda siya kasi di ba nalalagas po yung buhok, so makakatulong siya para mag-improve pa rin yung growth ng hair niya. Kasi dry na dry ng skin yung mga nagpapakemotherapy din. It will help also. So it's a great help and it's give them strength also. Kasi lahat nga sinisira ng radioactive substance sa chemotherapy yung mga healthy cells and tissues. And i-revive po ulit yun. Mag-regenerate to a new, more natural growth of the healthy cells again sa mga na-damage ng chemotherapy. And then also, there are also antioxidants. So like, for example, there is retinol, which is a vitamin A. Actually, it starts with beta-carotene that you absorb from the spirulina. Yung muna po i-absorb ninyo from spirulina pag tinik yung beta-carotene. And beta-carotene will be metabolized into vitamin A, which is retinol. Hindi po yung vitamin A ang tinatake ninyo from spirulina. It is the beta-carotene, and once it metabolized, it will become vitamin A, which is retinol, and that is the antioxidant also. So ibig sabihin panlaban sa infection, no, panlaban sa cancer, And also antioxidant means it prevents oxidation. Oxidation is the destruction of the healthy cells. Galing po siya sa free radicals, sa mga kinakain natin, like if you're fond of eating canned goods, mga preservatives, no, yung mga noodles and a lot more, no, yung mga canned goods, no, and also from everything, almost a lot of foods that we eat has chemical substances which are preservatives that leads to cancer and also destruction of the immune system. Kaya po talaga nakakatakot po minsan na kumain na. Kaya nga, we encourage na we select our food, we maintain organic substance, and here also in Vegetab, we get all the needed nutrients, no, that really we don't get from other foods that we eat. And what is good about this, it gives you a lot of fighter for the free radicals. Yung free radicals po na yan, pag nag-cause yan ng oxidation is a chemical process that takes place in our cell that destroys your immune system, your antibodies that fights infection, your healthy cells, it destroys the healthy cells, and that's the start of the invasion of the cancer genes or oncogenes. Doon po mag-start mag-attach doon sa damage ng oxidation na cell, and that will the time that during the process of oxidation or destruction of the healthy cells, that's the time that the cancer cells will invade it and start on the development of the tumor. That's how it processes like that. Kaya po talaga katakot. Fast foods, also a lot of free radicals po yung fast foods natin. And if we could have the natural, organic diet, that will be very nice. And next is, there is also zeaxanthin and lutein dun po sa ating Vegetab versus spirulina. And that helps on the improvement of the eyesight, no? No, narinig niyo po yung sa mga TV, may optin, which is nandun na po sa Vegetab natin. So, di ba napakagaling? Extraction, no? Or macular diseases. Because macular diseases pertains to the generation of your retina. Yung retina po, yan po yung part of our eye na nag-create ng color on our vision. Kaya pag meron kang color blindness, there is a problem, there's a damage on your retina. So that is what you call destruction of the cells of the retina. Retina is the part of our eye that absorbs light and then creates color. No? So normally, pag color blind ka, you have a problem on your retina. And lutein and zeaxanthin is present in our Vegetab, the spirulina, that improves your eyesight. And it's also good for this kung meron kang diabetic retinopathy, which is present also sa diabetes, no? That also affects our vision. Kaya we need the zeaxanthin and lutein. And also, we need some of our vitamins, no? Which is the fat-soluble vitamins, like the vitamin A. As I have said, vitamin A is a good antioxidant. So pag sinabing fat-soluble pala, that is a vitamin that easily metabolized and absorbed by fats, no? So that's why if you have fatty deposits in your body, it will be absorbed naturally. So vitamin A is good for protection against infection, no? And also babalik ko po sa sorry. Okay. So vitamin D is also needed for absorption of calcium in the bones. So that's why this is like a partner. So if you take calcium alone and without the vitamin D and also with the magnesium, which is also a mineral, a type of mineral. So vitamin D and the magnesium, which is present in our Vegetab or spirulina, are precursor for the absorption of calcium. Normally, some who have chronic kidney diseases and who had kidney stones na nagkaroon na ng operation, or kaya nagkaroon na undergo ng lithotripsy or yung laser treatment ng kidney stone, or you had kidney failure because of the accumulation of the calcium oxalate stone. Kasi dalawa po yung stone na napoproduce sa kidney natin. We have uric acid stone and calcium oxalate stone. And normally, those who had calcium oxalate deposits that leads to calcium oxalate stone in the kidney is caused by increase of calcium in the blood because they tend to take calcium supplements and also calcium-rich foods without the magnesium and without the vitamin D, Minsan di pa rin sila nagpapaaraw kasi actually the natural sun has vitamin D also. So hindi nagpapaaraw, lagi nakakulong parang mga vampira. Tapos and then also they don't have magnesium as a part of the calcium intake. It tends to be absorbed by the bone. Tumataas yung calcium level in the blood and then nagkakaroon ng hypercalcemia. Tapos syempre the kidney is the one that drains all the toxins in our body. So doon mag-accumulate yung calcium and that will become a calcium oxalate stone. So that's why we need, when we take calcium, we need the precursor vitamin D, and also we need the magnesium, which is a mineral, in order to allow the metabolism of calcium and to be absorbed by the bone and not to be drained and calcify in our kidney that leads to calcium oxalate stone. So you put, and then also we have vitamin E, which is also good for the skin and also antioxidant. It prevents skin diseases like allergic reactions, no? And also we have vitamin K, no, that prevents bleeding. It facilitates coagulation. So maganda naman po to pag yung, like for example, yung mga dengue, we have platelets problem na bumabagsak ang platelets, which is responsible for coagulation. Vitamin K is very important for coagulation to prevent bleeding, no? And also, we have water-soluble vitamins. No? Ito naman po yung mga vitamins na madaling malusaw sa water. And our body has part which is water, about 70% water. So that's why vitamin B easily absorbed by water in the body. And you know, vitamin B is very important. Number one, it helps to metabolize the fats and the cholesterol to be converted into an energy, and also it will not become a fatty deposits like adipose tissue. Tumutulong din po siya sa burning yung conversion from carbohydrates. If you take rice, kumain ka ng rice, and then in order to prevent this carbohydrate-rich rice, and the source of that is sugar, and once it metabolizes, it will be a cause of increase in blood sugar if you fond of eating rice. So vitamin B helps on the metabolism of sugar, so that it will be used by the body instead of being absorbed mostly of the blood of our blood, and leads to increase in blood sugar. And also vitamin B helps also on improvement of our nerve function. Kaya nga piniprescribe ito also if you have neurological problems, like kakaroon ka ng rigidity, numbness, mild paralysis, no? Because vitamin B repairs also the neurons, no? Yung nerve transmitter, no? Yung mga neurons are the cells that transmit electrical impulses in our nervous system. So if you have paralysis, numbness, no, weakness in the muscles, no, vitamin B complex is also needed. And we have the vitamin C, which also a good antioxidant, but it increases your phagocytes or your antibodies or your protection against infection. And also we have the chromium, which is the minerals. Ito po yung maganda sa diabetic because chromium is a mineral that helps also on the metabolism of sugar in the blood. So if you're fond of eating sweets, mga table sugar, no, mga chocolates, anything that has form of sugar, and once it accumulates in your bloodstream, it will cause increase in blood sugar. So chromium will help to metabolize that. So kung meron ka ng vitamin B complex and chromium together, both of them helps on the metabolism of excess sugar in the blood that prevents hyperglycemia or increase in blood sugar level. Tapos po yung potassium is also important for functioning of the heart, because ito po yung activator ng ating neurochemical transmitter that coming from the brain to allow the easy tinatawag nating movement of our cardiac muscles. So yung lab-dub, no? Yung movement of our muscles. So potassium is the one that helps on normal rhythm. Tinatawag namin cardiac rhythm. It normalizes our cardiac rhythm. If you have ECG nagkaroon ka ng ECG or electrocardiography test, and you have sabi, meron kang sinus bradycardia, you have sinus tachycardia, you have sinus arrhythmia, no, meron kang mga irregular heart rhythms, potassium will help to correct that, no, all those irregular cardiac rhythms. Kaya po potassium is very helpful with that. And we have that in our spirulina. And also the magnesium, sinabi ko na po kanina, precursor siya ng calcium to be absorbed so that it will be easily absorbed by the bones. And also we have the zinc. Zinc is a very important enhancer of our immune system. Kaya po nga, sinasama ko to dun sa program ng cancer treatment kasi po, zinc helps to activate the T cells. And T cells, once it's weak, mahina po yung T cells natin with a type of antibodies that fights the infection. Also, if you have a weak T cells, it tends to allow the growth of the cancer cells. And zinc activates the T cells that prevents the growth of the cancer cells in the body. And also a lot, no, ito po yung ating mga health benefits ng Vegetab. Mamaya po bibigyan ko ng recipe para mag-detox po kayo. Para mamaya, pag meron pa po tayong ibang mga health concerns na i-intake po ninyo, it will be helpful kasi normally if you do detoxification and also yung helping your body to regenerate if you have damaged cells, you need the Vegetab. So kaya po isasama natin sa detoxification para habang nagki-cleansing ka ng colon, Vegetab will supplement all the lost nutrients in your body while doing the detoxification. Kasi di ba nililinis yung bituka mo, yung colon mo. So syempre naglo-lose ka ng other nutrients. So it will supplement you with that. And also at the same time, sabi ko nga, if you're undergoing chemotherapy, it will help to repair the damaged cells during the chemotherapy treatment. So, sabi ko nga, like for example, may sinabi dito sa PowerPoint na helps prevent breast cancer because of the zinc. Because the zinc activates the T cells, no, that prevents the growth of the cancer cells. And also, what's good about this product is it also helps to normalize, no, yung hormonal secretions, no, kasi yung meron siyang vitamin E helps to normalize female hormone secretion kasi normally one of the major cause of breast cancer also is yung imbalance hormonal secretions. Pag normally kaya yung ibang most of the cases na nagkaroon ng breast cancer yan yung mga irregular menstruations, no, tapos yung meron mga nag-undergo ng hormonal therapy, no, hormonal replacement therapy. So those are certain cases that really lead to that, no. That's why we need also this product to help, no, the body maintain its hormonal secretion, especially kung menopause na yung female, di ba? Ang dami niya ng mga hot flashes, no, problem na sa hormonal secretion. So you need this also. And helps prevent ovarian cancer. So tumutulong din po siya kasi normally sa ovarian cancers leads to also to, ang latest study is problem in hormonal secretions. And we have that also yung vitamin E that normalize hormonal secretions, and we have the zinc also to enhance the T cells to prevent cancer formation. And for the male, syempre, this is related to prostate. Prostate cancer starts with prostatitis. So pag namamaga po yung prostate gland, it starts with that. And then later on, once the cancer, the oncogenes attach with the inflamed prostate tissues or prostate cells, no? And once the oncogenes start to invade that will develop malignant tissue or malignant tumor, and that will lead to cancer. So normally, marami po sa atin, ano ba ang pagkakaiba ng cancer sa tumor? So normally po, when a tumor develops in an organ, tumor is an abnormal tissue, but if that is benign, it's not yet cancerous. So that's why nagkakaroon po ng biopsy, and that's why once there was a biopsy, and that's the time that pag na-check po na talagang yung tumor is malignant, and that's the time that we will proclaim that is a cancerous type of tumor. And then we have diabetes. So diabetes po is an increase in blood sugar. So meron po tayong mga insulin dependent, non-insulin dependent, but mostly yung mga insulin dependent po, kailangan din po talaga ninyong i-maintain yung inyong subcutaneous insulin injection, of course, sa mga insulin dependent. But this will be a part of your treatment, yung Vegetab, kasi as I have said, meron tayong chromium picolinate, yung chromium kanina, sinasabi ko, that helps on the metabolism of sugar in your blood para hindi na po tumaas, no? Magkaroon ng hyperglycemia. but still you have to maintain your insulin injection from your doctor. But kung non-insulin dependent ka naman, there is also yung mga metformin, no, na mga oral medications, no, that we give for the non-insulin dependent that you have to maintain also. But at the same time, you need also regular na glucose tolerance test. Dapat meron kayong sa bahay na yung piniprick po sa daliri, tapos meron kayong glucometer or glucose tolerance na test sa bahay ninyo para lagi nyo na-monitor kasi delikado po yung bigla kayo na nagkakaroon ng yung kasi nagpa-fluctuate yan, yung nagkakaroon ng hypoglycemia bigla, tapos maaaring mag-collapse kayo, magkaroon kayo ng related cardiovascular cases, no, for this sudden fluctuation of blood sugar. And also sa heart and stroke, no, because we have also dinatawag nating vitamin B complex in the Vegetab that helps, no, to prevent accumulation of cholesterol in our arteries and veins. Kasi yung vitamin B complex nga po sinasabi ko, and helps on the metabolism of fats and bad cholesterol. Tapos so meron pang potassium sa Vegetab that helps to improve our constriction and dilation. Yung pagsikip, constriction po yung pagsikip, dilation yung pagluwang ng ating mga blood vessels such as the arteries and the veins. So mapansin nyo po, para mag-normalize ang blood circulation, kailangan normal ang constriction and dilation. Kasi pag puro constriction lang, mag-increase ang blood pressure, magkakos ng cardiac arrest or magkakos ng tinatawag nating thrombus, no, or blood clot that will lead to stroke sa ating blood vessel. Kaya kailangan normal yan, at the potassium will help that, no? And fights liver problems, sabi ko nga kasi may cysteine siya kanina, may glutathione that prevents fatty liver, and then lowers blood pressure kasi sabi ko nga po, nino-normalize niya, kailangan hindi masyadong laging merong normally kasi po pag may mababa naman ang pagmataas ng blood pressure natin, ibig sabihin naka-constrict ang blood vessel. So this Vegetab will help to dilate, no, the blood vessel so that it will normalize the arterial pressure, yung pressure po ng pagdaloy ng dugo para po lumuwang ito, magdadilate siya, hindi mawawala yung constriction, and it will lower the blood pressure. And then also we have the balanced cholesterol and uric acid. So because detoxifier siya, na it cleanses, sabi ko nga, because of the vitamin B complex that helps on the metabolism of cholesterol and uric acid. Tapos may antihistamine effect din po siya para sa asthma and allergies, no? And also it has anti-inflammatory effect, no, na i-relieve yung inflammation, and then it also helps to fight arthritis and rheumatism because this one it helps, no, meron po kasi tayong tinatawag na anti-inflammatory effect because normally lahat po na may gouty arthritis, normally namamaga yung mga joints, and we need the Vegetab for that as an anti-inflammatory. Pero mamaya po meron pa tayong isang product na mas the best din po na pwede natin isabay dito for our gouty arthritis. And it fights goiter also because goiter normally ang cause niyan is imbalance, no, of the function of our thyroid gland. So normally po pag nagkaroon kayo ng test, no, na nagkakaroon ng problem sa inyong thyroxine level, no, so normally yung pag mataas po yung thyroxine level in your blood, no, that could be a sign of hyperthyroidism. So and Vegetab will help to normalize the secretion of the thyroxine in your thyroid gland. And then kidney disorder, as I've said, no, kasi yung prevention ng formation ng calcium oxalate stone and uric acid stone in your kidney because meron po tayo tumutulong na part ng Vegetab, no, which is the vitamin D and the magnesium. So even we take calcium, it will not cause formation of calcium oxalate stone in the kidney. Energy booster because of the lysine that we have, no, in prevention stress, clear the eyesight because of the lutein and zeaxanthin of the Vegetab. Ito po yung maganda, yung mamaya po, pag meron tayong detoxification of the heavy metals. Kaya po meron pa tayong imi-mix mamaya dito, bibigay ko po yung recipe, kaya stay tuned, wag po kayong aalis kasi surprise. Kaya meron ako pa surprise sa inyo kasi para walang aalis sa Zoom. na meron po tayong recipe together with this. Kasi po yung Vegetab, meron siya ability to release the heavy metals. Actually po, lahat po ng mga nakasama ko sa alternative medicine, sa naturopathy, yung mga mentors ko po na talagang magagaling din sa pag-handle ng mga cancer patients. Normally po, ang major cause din ng development of the cancer cells, kaya po nagkaroon kayo ng mga formation of malignant tumors in your organ because of the presence of the heavy metals. So nakukuha din po yan sa mga ini-spray ng mga insecticide, mga mamatay ng lamok, mga pesticides, mga ganyan. Tapos po yung mga ibang sa kinakain din natin, no? Because normally these are the major sources of development of oncogenes or cancer cells, yung cadmium, mercury, lead, and arsenic. Ito po yung 4 major cause ng cancer po na heavy metals na dapat na dapat hindi napunta sa katawan ng isang pasyente kaya siya nagka-cancer. So that's why ito po yung mga major causes niyan na kaya po pinag-aaralan din yan mostly ng ibang doktor kung ano yung pinagmulan kasi nga po ito yung isa sa mga major causes. And this Vegetab will help that, but also meron po tayong recipe mamaya na dapat magke-cleansing din po kayo na together with that. And also fights constipation, no? Kasi nga po sabi ko, if you are always constipated, this will really cause a lot of free radicals transformation in your bloodstream, no? So normally po sabi nga sa naturopathy, if you have a toxic colon, it leads to transport of free radicals in your cells. Actually, if you could see, napakarami pong blood vessels ng ating colon that can transport a lot of this free radicals in our cells, no? That's why every 8 hours you should eliminate the feces. Kailangan po dumudumi tayo every 8 hours because more than 8 hours will lead to putrefaction. Nag-peppermint na po yung dumi and it will create free radicals, and these free radicals will be transported in your cells that will lead to oxidation or destruction of your immune system. And then when the immune system was already destroyed, you have no defense against infection, against cancer cells formation. Kaya doon po nagsimula. Kaya yung iba maraming nagkaroon ng weakening, nagiging immunocompromised, humihina immune system. Yun po nagkaroon din ng mga cancer formation in your organs because of toxic colon and toxic blood. And also it also helps strengthen the bones. So sabi ko nga kasi the calcium, one should take it, but we have in the Vegetab, we all know that Vegetab has calcium already, but because it has magnesium and vitamin D na precursor, so madali siya ma-absorb ng buto rather than to become a calcium oxalate stone in your kidney. Balanced hormone, sabi ko nga because of the vitamin E, increases fertility because of the vitamin E. No, but I could not promise ma-pregnant ulit yung female. This one is also helps to balance only the progesterone, the estrogen and progesterone, which is needed for menstrual cycle and fertility. But I will not promise po doon sa part ng pregnancy, doon sa mga hindi po magkaanak. This is more of the hormonal balancing. And then improves, yung mga may HIV and AIDS po, kasi yun din ang sinisira po kasi ng human immunovirus, the T cells, no? Yun din po yung major protection natin, no, para sa infection, no? So yun po sinisira din ng human immunovirus, and it helps the Vegetab to improve the formation of the T cells if the patient has HIV. Kasi kung HIV pa lang, it will not lead to full-blown AIDS, no? Kasi marami ng complication pag full-blown AIDS na yung HIV patient. And then neuroprotection for brain disorders and memory boosters. Sabi ko nga kanina that it has lysine that enhances your memory function. Kaya if you are taking this and then you are already reaching age of 80, may possibility hindi ka magkaroon ng Alzheimer's, hindi ka magkaroon ng dementia, which are all related to old age sickness na leads to poor memory retention, no? Amnesia, no? and then also nagkakaroon ng degeneration of the nervous system. Tapos ito po, meron din ako nito, yung ako, allergic rhinitis, dahil itong problema to. And I know Vegetab really helps a lot kasi po, it improves your immune system and all allergic reaction in our body, hindi lang po rhinitis or any forms of allergy, even asthma, is related to immune response. And once the Vegetab improves our immune system, nawawala na po yung yung ating reaction to histamine. No, histamine is a neurochemical that creates an allergic reaction in our body. So kaya nga po sinasabi, uminom ka ng antihistamine because Vegetab is an antihistamine type of natural substance. Kaya po maganda po siya talaga. And now we go on. Ito po yung isang recipe ko ng sa detox, no? Pero mamaya po may isa pa ako na ipapakita po sa inyo na related to that. So later on po, babalikan ko po yan mamaya. And now we go back to our detoxification. Ayan na po. So detoxification will do, kasi kailangan po, sabi ko, kailangan yung detox yung colon kasi any toxin in our colon leads to oxidation in our system, nagpo-formation ng free radicals that leads to poor absorption of any nutrients. Kahit po ano yung kainin yung herbal, kahit anong inumin ninyo, pag toxic yung colon ninyo, hindi po lahat ma-absorb ang nutrients. So you need to detoxify your colon, and how you do that? There are other recipes that you could do. Like for example po, ito po isang recipe na ginawa ko. We have the psyllium powder. No? Alam niyo po, ito yung psyllium husk. No? Or we call it the plantago ovata. Meron po yung mabibili sa mga health food shops. I think sa mga pharmacy meron din siya. It's called psyllium powder. So about if you are wanted about 1 tablespoon of this, 1 tablespoon, and then about half tablespoon of parsley, i-chop po ninyo. Tapos mga half of the whole cucumber, i-cut nyo po. And then the tomato, about 2 pieces of tomato. And then 1 tablespoon of honey. Tapos po yung Vegetab, yung spirulina, dikdikin nyo po. If you have mortar and pestle, or kahit po anong way ng pagdikdik nyo, i-ground po ninyo. And then you use blender and blend it. And then you take it in the morning. No? And also in the morning and then in the evening, twice in a day. So before bedtime and also in the morning. Pero kung busy po kayo, mas maganda po pag nakauwi na lang kayo, kunyari nag-work kayo, you take it na lang, for example, mga 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock bago kayo umuwi, tapos isa sa bedtime, basta twice in a day. When you're about to go home, tapos po isa ulit before bedtime. And you will see, talaga pong mag-aano kayo, once you do an excessive bowel movement, nagdudumi po kayo talaga kasi para siyang cleansing effect. Talagang dudumi kayo ng dudumi. You have to increase your fluid intake. Inom lang po ng tubig. More than 12 glasses in a day habang po nag-release yung mga toxins. No? And then also, but please don't take it together with the squalid kasi sayang lang lalabas. So dapat po meron po kayong pagitan ng mga 8 hours, no? Or 4 hours like that. 4 hours po yung pagitan. Huwag niyo pong isabay siya kasi sayang si squalene. Around 4 hours yung pagitan po. And then, another recipe is psyllium powder. Yun naman po ulit. And then, you mix it with, so 1 tablespoon of psyllium powder, and then cinnamon, 1 tablespoon, and then half of the lemon, you slice it, squeeze it, and then 1 tablespoon of honey and 4 tablets of grounded Vegetab. Dikdikin nyo rin po yung 4 tablets and mix it. I think you will produce in here about more than 1 glass of preparation. And then next is the next preparation is psyllium powder again, so about 1 tablespoon, avocado, about half slice lang po, nung kalahati lang po ng buong avocado, and then 1 tablespoon of honey and 4 tablets of grounded Vegetab. Dikdikin niyo po ulit. All of this you have to use the blender para po ganito yung appearance niya. And then you take it twice in a day. And it will really very good para sa cleansing niyo po while taking the squalene. And the Vegetab also will help you to energize your body. Kasi po while, especially kung ikaw ay nagki-chemotherapy or you have weak immune system, you are recovering from other diseases, Vegetab will help you to regenerate the damaged cells. At the same time, that when you are doing cleansing, syempre, it releases all the nutrients from the food that you eat, sa mga supplements. So, Vegetab will replace all those nutrients kasi nga po superfood siya.